watching Garage TV, that unexplainable passion for motoring. Garage TV HD.
Wow, today I'm super excited. We're in beautiful sunny South Florida. Look at the sun, it's just absolutely beating down on us. We're with this beautiful Jaguar XKR. This is absolutely one of the supercars that are available right now at a very moderately priced. It sits in a nice price range, somewhere in the $100,000 range, which is very compatible to most of the supercars. Yet this is a supercar that has all the luxuries that you would want out of pretty much any vehicle. Really excited about this power plant that they came up with. This is the AJ 5-liter. It's a supercharged version that they have that comes exclusively on the XKR with 510 horses at between 6,000 and 6,500 RPMs. This is just spectacular, and I'll show you some of that in a minute. A little kind of loud out here today. We got the ambulances and stuff running around. Hopefully there's no big deal here, but getting back to this vehicle, Jaguar really went ahead and put a lot of efforts in redesigning their new breed of high-performance luxury, luxury basically coupes. And this XKR is really the epitome of a really super fine supercar that is still in a price range that's still pretty much affordable to a lot of people. This particular version of the XKR has an MSRP of about $98,000. The convertible version has an MSRP of about $108,000. We're going to go over a few of the neat features that they have. Some things that I really like about the vehicle. Obviously, the styling that they put into this vehicle, and what calls the biggest attention to the XK or the XKR over the XK is these hood scoops up here that say supercharged. That tells you there's some ponies under this hood. Massive brakes, absolutely massive brakes, needed to haul this thing down. I mean, this car is governed to 165 miles an hour. Obviously, if that wasn't that governor in this motor package, it'd be over 200 miles an hour easy. I mean, this thing is just set up. Nice aerodynamic shapes, everything fit and finished. They've really spent a lot of time in the wind tunnel to make sure they make this the most efficient car they could possibly make. Coupled that 510 horse motor coupled to a 6-speed ZF automatic transmission. That's just unbelievable. It shifts smooth, fast. There's a bunch of different modes in there. You know, some modes for driving easy. They got a sport mode in there. Obviously stiffens up the suspension. Your shift points are really crisp, and we'll go over some of that stuff too. As you can see, this vehicle is it's obviously it's a sports car, but it does have some little seats in the back. Not sure who the heck could sit back there, but I know I can't. But I sure as hell fit real comfortable in the front of this thing. So we'll show you some more about that in a few minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and show you the heart of this vehicle. You know, Jaguar incorporated this design called the AJ 5-liter. It's got variable valve timing. It's got variable geometry for the intake. The sucker puts out 500 plus horses on the touch of a pedal. Other neat features inside this compartment that I liked about it is how they went ahead and stiffened up the chassis with some other stiffeners inside here for the corners. The suspension is all electronic, so basically you control all the dampening right from inside the vehicle with the different mode settings. And if you really look, when you're going to see now, there's really not too much you can see because it's all covered up with all these covers. But it's a massive motor, and it produces some serious horsepower. What really makes this motor stand out, and those 500 plus horses at it, is on this particular motor, on top of the variable valve timing, the variable geometry for the intake, they've incorporated a supercharger. Well, what the supercharger does is it basically packs air into the combustion chamber, and it really helps make more power. Obviously, there's different ways of making power on a motor. They do it obviously through compression. They do it through big cylinder, you know, the big displacements. They go through turbocharging them. The advantage of the supercharger over the turbocharger is that there is no lag. It's instant horsepower. As the motor turns, it's producing boost. Boost is just feeding those cylinders, and it's creating some serious compression inside there, and that's where all the power comes from. Obviously, the turbocharging is also works in a very similar, but it's using the exhaust to turn a turbine that is turning a compressor that is forcing the air in here. So you can understand there's a little bit of lag as you build up volume, exhaust volume, to turn the turbo over, so it turns the turbo wheel, the compressor then fills the intake. The advantage of the supercharger, it's instant. That motor turns, it's connected to a drive, either through a gear drive or a belt. It's turning that compressor. That compressor is nothing more than a giant blower that's blowing right into the intake and filling those chambers up, and that's where all the power comes from. Well, now we're inside the car. It oozes luxury. I mean, there's a lot of really neat features in this vehicle. Some of the stuff that I like is being able to make myself as comfortable as possible when we're driving. And Jaguar has incorporated a system that's really good. It's got full controls for your back. You go forwards, back with it. You're going up and down on the seat. This here controls these sections here to hold you, to be able to close or open the back of the seat. And obviously this is going in or out. You could lengthen the bottom of the seat or bring it back, which is a little different than most any other vehicle I've in. I mean, obviously the whole seat moves forwards and the whole seat moves back. This particular one, you could keep the backrest where you want it and move the whole bottom of it forwards or backwards, and also obviously all the different axes as you want to make it up or down and all that. And they went ahead and figured all kinds of neat stuff for that. So I'll show you some more, and let me show you some of the other stuff. Some of the other things too that they went ahead and incorporated for all the comfort for the driver and the passenger. They incorporated ventilation through the seat, air conditioning blowing through the seat. They went ahead and incorporated heated seats for those cold days. I mean, obviously here in South Florida, all we use is the ventilation because we want air conditioning. It's kind of hot outside, so we always want to keep it, keep ourselves as cool as possible. We're going to go ahead and start this vehicle up for you. It's a pretty neat feature the way they do it. Basically, foot on the brake, hit the button, and it'll hit it again. Starts right up. The shifting device basically comes up. It's basically a joystick, a knob that we could incorporate to put whatever, we could select whatever gear we want to get. And they also have a sport mode for all the high performance driving and when you feel nice and sporty. So pretty neat the way they did that. They incorporated no more of the old days of pushing on the emergency brake or pulling the lever. They went ahead and put it right here. You just go ahead and pull this up. All the emergency brake engages. In fact, you could even feel it on your foot as the brake. They basically use the brakes also to incorporate it. Turn it off, just push it down. We have sport, when we want to finish the sport models, sport modes and stuff like that, there's buttons here for that. Also to deactivate the traction stability control that they've incorporated into it, you could also manually override that. Now we're going to look a little bit at the air conditioning and the audio, basically the whole information setup they have here. It's a touch screen, and you could go ahead and pick whatever you're looking for. Like obviously I just hit the radio. I could go ahead and go back by, following the directions. I could go to the navigation side. It's all touchscreen. So it's really neat. It tells me where I'm at. I could tell it, where I want to go by giving address. I could even do it through basically a lat long or location. It gives me all kinds of options to go ahead and use. And, it's all touchscreen. So, we don't have to be pushing buttons or entering stuff. So it's pretty neat. Other things, obviously, like all nice cars and everything, I got a tilt wheel. you know, where we could go up in and out with it and set it up to the height that I want. It's got paddle shifters, so when we go to the sport mode, I could go up or down the gearing as I want. It works very similar to all the new styles of gearboxes, all high-performance gearboxes. It shifts extremely fast. In fact, nowadays, these automatic transmissions shift faster than anybody could do manually. So on the track, when they've done comparisons, the automatic transmission that you're able to shift with your butterfly, no clutch, no shifting or any of that, is always 3 or 4 tenths faster on the track than somebody manually shifting. All the controls are right at your hands. As we see, it's got a cruise control settings over here. Over here on this side, on the sides, you can control the stereo. You could use your Bluetooth, which has its Bluetooth. It's set up for Bluetooth in here. You can look for all different sources through here, and you have an information screen up right directly in front of us also. We got the mile an hour on one side, and we got the RPM on another, and just about everything else that's right up in here. It tells me what gear I'm in, what doors open, how many miles to empty, how much is left on a reserve. They've incorporated a lot of neat stuff in here, so we'll go around and take it for a drive. Well, now we're going to go out and take it for a nice little spin around this town here. It's just a beautiful day outside, but it's a tad hot today. One thing I really enjoy about this vehicle is these seats. Right now I got the air conditioning blowing through them. My back is nice and I feel nice cold air just like on the bottom of the seat. That's a real big plus for me. I really think that's one of the biggest advantages for any vehicle down here in South Florida. Well, let's talk about what this car is really all about though. This vehicle, you know, Jaguar went ahead, you know, when you talk about Jaguar, you're talking about, you know, racing, you're talking about sports cars, you're talking about sports luxury cars. Well, this one incorporates just about everything that Jaguar is all about. We're gonna go take it for some spin around here in the town, show you some of the neat features of this vehicle. I really wanna take it out to the track and spend some time doing some laps around the track, because this thing would be unbelievable. The brakes on it are just you know, just awesome. I love the idea that right now we're in an automatic mode and it automatically shifts and goes through every gear that it wants to, and it automatically adjusts itself for it. But I'm a kind of guy who likes to shift himself. You know, maybe not when we're driving around in the city, but when we're getting up and feeling our oats, I definitely want to try the shifting. So fortunately, can't go down that road. It looks like there's an accident over there, but we'll go down this road here and we'll drive some more on it. The brakes are just spectacular. You can just breathe on them and the car just hauls down, you know, and there's almost no effort to drive this vehicle. Well, now it's in a sport mode. Now I could only shift it. So when you go across here, we go out of here a little bit and we'll see what it does. It's in first gear and boom, it just, wow.
You're watching Garage TV, that unexplainable passion for motoring.